Can you see? Yes. You are standing close. Everything is fine.
Your Excellency, the Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Maitama Tuggar, OON, Your Excellencies, Senior Directors from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Gentlemen of the Press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Kimiebi Imomotimi Ebimfa, spokesperson, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today in Tafawa Balewa House for a very important event. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as supported by the Presidency, is organizing West Africa Economic Summit. The summit is scheduled for 20th and 21st of June at the newly renovated and commissioned Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has organized a series of pre-summit events leading to the very important date, which will be Friday this week. There was a business roundtable in Lagos, whereby the Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs briefed the business community in Lagos, conscientizing them to participate actively in the summit that is holding in Abuja. There was also a very important briefing of ambassadors from West African countries that are accredited to Nigeria here by the Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs. The Mr. President also appointed special envoy to tour West African countries to personally invite heads of states of the West African countries to participate in the event. I think from our last count, the envoy committee that is headed by the Honourable Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Ambassador Bianca Ojugu has visited Senegal, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Benin, Ghana, and Togo. I think today too they will be visiting more countries. So for today's event, we felt it would be good for the Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs, who is the head of the ministry, to brief the press about the very important summit that is coming up, that is scheduled for 20th and 21st of June. So, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, that is why we are here today. So, without much ado, may I respectfully invite the Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs to commence the briefing. Your Excellency, sir.
Thank you very much. A very good morning, Your Excellencies, directors, and senior officials of the ministry. Your Excellencies, gentlemen of the press, because you're also Excellencies, you are our partners. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with a deep sense of honor and responsibility that I announce Nigeria's readiness to host the West Africa Economic Summit 2025 under the distinguished leadership of His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. The summit will take place from the 20th to the 21st of June of this month, 2025, at the Abuja International Conference Center. That's the newly renovated Abuja International Conference Center. This important regional gathering themed West Africa Economic Summit, unlocking trade and investment opportunities in the region, is designed to serve as a strategic platform for shaping the economic future of our region. West Africa Economic Summit 2025 will convene heads of state, ministers, private sector leaders, development partners, and youth innovators from across West Africa and beyond. As a government, we recognize that sustainable development, peace, and prosperity in West Africa are best achieved through enhanced regional cooperation and economic integration. Economic integration requires the active partnership of the private sector and cannot be exclusively state-centric. WAES 2025 reflects this conviction. And the strategic objectives of the summit are as follows. WAES 2025 is a solutions-oriented initiative that seeks to establish a harmonized trade policy framework to eliminate barriers to intra-African commerce and investment, mobilize resources for critical infrastructure, energy, and logistics to improve the free movement of goods and people, promote inclusive economic growth with particular attention to empowering women, youth, and small and medium enterprises, enhance West Africa's economic resilience through innovation, institutional reforms, and strategic global partnerships. And the summit highlights will feature the following key components: a presidential roundtable and CEO forum, a high-level dialogue between heads of state and business leaders, culminating in a joint communique that articulates shared regional priorities and a concrete plan of action. WAES deal room. There's going to be a deal room, and that's essentially a platform for business to government, B2G, and business to business, B2B transactions aimed at securing landmark investment deals across strategic sectors, including infrastructure, agribusiness, renewable energy, and digital finance. West Africa Business Expo, and this is an exhibition of over 100 investment-ready SMEs and regional development projects, fostering cross-border business linkages and reinforcing the role of the private sector in advancing the AFCFTA, that's the African Continental Free Trade Area. And then Youth and Cultural Empowerment Series, featuring events such as the West Africa Art Exhibition, Innovation Pitch, and Youth Leadership Panels. These will showcase the region's rich creative energy and the ingenuity of our youth. I move on to Nigeria's enduring commitments. WAES 2025 is a reaffirmation of Nigeria's commitment to the ECOWAS vision of a borderless, peaceful, and economically integrated West Africa. It aligns seamlessly with continental objectives under the Agenda 2063 of the African Continental Free Trade Area. The summit will address the facilitation of cross-border trade and logistics, the advancement of regional macroeconomic stability and value chains, and the reinforcement of institutional cooperation, peace, and governance. As Minister of Foreign Affairs, I extend a warm invitation to regional leaders, continental institutions, development partners, private investors, and civil society actors to converge in Abuja for what will be a landmark moment in West Africa's economic evolution. But over and above my own invitation is, of course, Mr. President's invitation, as has been mentioned by the spokesperson. Mr. President has directed that special envoys are dispatched to his colleagues, other leaders in the region, and they have since delivered the invitations in person. Together, through WAES 2025, we take deliberate steps toward a prosperous, united, and globally competitive West Africa. Finally, thank you very much for your robust national and regional coverage so far, and that's why I refer to you as Your Excellencies also. And looking forward to your summit and post-summit coverage. Let's tell the world our story. Thank you very much.
A round of applause for I think I'll want to join my voice to thank journalists accredited to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Indeed, we are very, very proud of you. You have made me very proud too, because we're issuing statements, sometimes 2 statements a day on this West African Economic Summit, and you've been covering it effectively. God bless all of you. Now we'll go to question and answers. So if you need any clarification that you need the Honourable Minister to make, you can identify in our usual pattern, raise up your hand, introduce yourself, your media house, then you ask your question. Take out the hand far left here. Okay.
Good morning, Your Excellency.
You can use the nearest microphone.
Morning.
Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Fortune. I'm from the News Agency of Nigeria. Thanks so much for what you're doing so far. My questions are still in 2 phases. First is, it's a maiden summit. And we know so well that government like the Barak come, goes, What legal frameworks are there to ensure sustainability, which the world really is focused on right now, of such initiative in a way to deepen integration among member states and also fostering economic growth in the sub-region? And secondly, sir, you'll be the best person to answer this. What's the update on the appointments of ambassadors?
Please, can we limit our questions to the summit only, please? Use the.
Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Salisu Waziri. I report for Voice of Nigeria. During your presentation, this summit sounds like an international, it's given an international vibe, let me put it that way. And most of the grassroots people sometimes feel left out. I want to know what the planners or the organizers of this summit is doing to carry along the people at the grassroots level who also contribute immensely to economic development of the country and West Africa in general. Thank you.
Okay, the third one for the Honourable Minister. Yeah.
Who was sorry? Who asked the second question?
Salis was
Voice of Nigeria. Oh, okay.
Good morning, Mr. Minister and my honorable colleagues. I just want to ask Mr. Minister, this...
Your name first.
Okay, my name is Oshaka Ubarai for People's Daily Newspaper. This investment summit is about maybe attracting investment to West Africa. What is the expectation after this summit? Like, how much will be the influence of the investment, maybe in dollar terms, to West Africa? What is the expectation after this summit? Thank you.
Your Excellency, may wish to respond to the question.
Thank you very much for your questions. Beginning with the News Agency of Nigeria, Adam, what legal framework to ensure sustainability? You see, a legal framework, legal regulatory framework, platform, if you will, exists for the region, and that's the Economic Community of West African States. But there is precisely a reason why Mr. President chose to host a West Africa Economic Summit. So the invitation extends not just to ECOWAS and ECOWAS states, but indeed to all states, businesses, private sector, development finance institutions that pertain to the West African region. So the issue of legal framework is not there. The success of the event is what is going to sustain it, particularly since you have private sector involved. The whole idea is to partner with private sector to push integration, to support integration, instead of just leaving integration, regional integration to the states, to the governments. So it's going beyond that. And that is what is going to sustain it, because even outside of what is going on now with the government, with the states, private sector is still doing business in the region. So it's just identifying that Mr. President is taking us back to the very founding moments and initiatives for regional integration. I look around, I see very young faces. Some of you will not know the name of Adebayo Adedeji, but definitely the directors know Adebayo Adedeji, Economic Commission of Africa, ECA, okay, ECA. And back then, when we had the Lagos Plan of Action, the whole idea was to create common markets. And this is where these were the founding moments essentially of was the strengthening of the regional economic communities, so that there will be regional integration and in turn there will be continental integration. So before you had the African Continental Free Trade Area, you had um, the, 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 um, the ideas, the concepts uh, being propounded by the likes of Adebayo Adedeji back then. And they stood in contrast to the ideas of the Washington Consensus, where um, Bretton Woods was championing the confinement of African countries to the export of raw materials. And people like him were arguing to say, no, we want to add value, we want to manufacture, we want to improve our supply and value chains, and this is how we will create employment for our youth. This is how we will generate wealth, instead of us just being relegated to the export of raw materials for others. And whereas the Washington Consensus was saying, no, just stick to what you know and what you're good at. So President Tinubu is taking us back to those fundamental arguments and saying we must ensure that we do this. The reason why we have not been able to make as much progress as we should is because we have more or less allowed this thinking to prevail, whether you know, by omission or commission, as we like saying. So this is fundamentally what he's trying to do, and he's saying private sector should be a partner to governments. It's not just for governments to continue to push initiatives and create legal frameworks. No, let private sector participate. So essentially, this is it. And of course, there are others that are partnering. For instance, even the World Economic Forum is working with us on this. And we are also saying, the government is saying, instead of us always being invited to go to all these places for economic summits and conferences and what have you, why don't we show what we can do? And Nigeria is taking the lead in that to show what it can do. And it's not that this is happening in a void or in a vacuum. There's already a lot of trade and investment and integration going on that has nothing to do with government. Private sector, business people, traders, they're doing their trade. But he's looking to identify with what they're doing and to support them and to urge his colleagues to also give support to that. Now, with the question asked by Silas Uboy, Voice of Nigeria, what about the grassroots? I've already started answering that. Even in my in what I read, we recognized SMEs, that's small and medium enterprises. When we talk about small and medium enterprises, we're not talking about just big people or government or big business. No, it's the small man, it's the small entrepreneur, it's the small trader that we're looking. So he and she are part of this conversation and part of this initiative to strengthen what they're doing and to promote them. With Oshaka's question, People's Daily, what are we doing towards attracting investment? This misses the point. It's not about attracting investment from outside the region. No, we're talking about regional integration. What we're doing with each other. How do we strengthen that so that we're trading more, so that the governments, the very governments in this region are providing the necessary infrastructure, the necessary support, the necessary policy frameworks to strengthen trade within the region and integration and the linkages. So government also understands that government cannot do it alone. There's a gap, even in funding, that private sector needs to step in, to participate, to support. Instead of us looking for countries or businesses outside of the region, outside of Africa to come and invest. This is not what we're talking about here. We're talking about what we can do for ourselves. I'll stop here. Thank you very much.
Yeah, use the microphone closest to you.
Thank you very much, sir. My name is Thank you very much, sir. My name is Olaimi, so I report for Spy TV. So when you were answering, yes, sir, SPY not Spy. Thank you, sir. So when you're reacting to some questions, you make mention that you want Nigeria to host the economic summit. I want to ask, is Nigeria the first African country to host this kind of summit so far? Then the second question, sorry, I want to ask, some of the African countries, they are not into trade with Nigeria anymore. Are they also being invited to be part of this summit? Are you looking at them coming for this summit? Thank you very much.
Good morning, Honourable Minister. My name is Joy Annie, and I report for Asa Radio and TV. My question is, this summit coming up, Minister, what would be the tangible major takeaway that is different from the usual ECOWAS summit, since these are things that are also discussed in some of the summits? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Congratulations for the maiden edition of the summit in 2025. My name is Raymond Enoch from Paradise News. The summit is coming at a time when the region is actually redefining itself and its priorities. My concern there, Your Excellency, is the question of security, which has to do with what investors or whoever is investing this money, including government, should really wish to secure its lives and property. And this is a concern in West Africa. So what is the plan of government under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed
as a household or a private individual, what are the frameworks that are already in place to be able to actualize that? How can they be improved? People, sometimes businesses don't have that information. So the idea is to be able to provide private sector with that information so that they can take advantage of the opportunities therein. So again, there are several initiatives that are already in place. You have the ECOWAS standby force. It is there to further strengthen security, the provision of security. And also, this sort of forum provides for a role for private sector to play and to even contribute towards security, because it's a collective effort. We shouldn't just leave everything to government or governments. Private sector can also support what the government is doing by way of funding, by way of technology, because don't forget we're going to have so many pioneers in the digital technology space that are going to be participating. The likes of, for instance, Money Point, that are today a unicorn. They're going to be, all these sort of players are going to be there. And it's not just Nigerian businesses, it is businesses from all across the region. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your responses. I want to add that regarding participation by small and medium-scale industries, we have in this very call right now the president of African Association of Small and Medium-Scale Industries, and is Dr. Jasper Eradri. Is here to finalize with the organizing committee how best they can participate effectively.
Sorry, if I can add also, in terms of provision of security, what the Tuggar administration has also done is to come up with the Regional Partnership for Democracy, RPD, which some of you are aware we launched recently in partnership with the UNDP. And the whole idea is to create a template that is not going to be owned by Nigeria alone. It is to be owned by the entire region and all countries that decide to adopt it and utilize it to further strengthen institutions, to tackle the perennial challenges that are posed by misinformation and disinformation, to engage with civil society so that there is more understanding between governments and the people to further strengthen the social contract. So you can see that a lot is being done apart from just the issue of a kinetic approach. You know, there's so many issues, so many approaches, such as this regional partnership for democracy. I think this is the first time that you're seeing these sort of initiatives, you know, well thought out, original ideas being presented by the Tuggar administration. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency. So we'll take the last three questions now.
Good afternoon, Honourable Minister. Good morning, rather, and good morning, my esteemed colleagues. My name is Emmanuel Obiswe. I write for the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. Permit me to take you back, Honourable Minister. While you were reacting to the last question, you recalled the exit of some member countries in West Africa, in terms of Mali, Niger, and the likes, who have exited the coalition. And then you also mentioned that that had not stopped our government, another government, from collaborating with them. So my question is straight and simple. Envoys have been sent out to give invitations to leaderships of West African countries. But I don't know if this invitation was extended to, you know, these countries that have exited the regional bloc. Are we going to have them participate in this summit? That's my question. Thank you, sir.
name is Punari Man. I think
The microphone.
my name is Punari Man. I work for the Rice News Channel. So I would like to ask if this summit is modeled after the World Economic Summit. And also, I'd like to know if it's going to be rotational. If Nigeria hosts this time around, maybe another country will host the next time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable Minister, my name is Dr. Ndekure Jasper Radiri, President, All Africa Association for Small and Medium Enterprise. We're very excited to hear about this event because indeed there is a nexus between private sector and security, just as you've mentioned. And we're happy to see that this is an opportunity, it's a novel opportunity by the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to see that the region is economically integrated. So my question is, would you give a special role for the SMEs, who are the engine room for economic growth, to be able to interact and feature in this program? Thank you.
Okay. Excellency, may wish to respond.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I think I didn't realize I had not clarified this unequivocally. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, they're all invited. I'm just coming back from China, where there was a ministerial conference where I interacted with the ministers of foreign affairs of the three countries and presented them with invitations. And in addition to that, of course, Mr. President has extended invitations to their heads of state. So they are invited. They're very welcome. That's why it's the West Africa Economic Summit. They are part and parcel of West Africa. And they cannot, even if they've left ECOWAS, they cannot pack their load and move to North Africa or East Africa or Southern Africa or Central Africa. They are still part of West Africa and they are our neighbors. So I hope that puts that to rest. Arise asked if this was modeled after the World Economic Forum, Davos. No, this is a novel, homegrown, African original idea. We are focusing, this administration focuses on preferring homegrown solutions to our problem instead of copying and pasting what exists in other regions. And we feel that these are the sort of solutions that would work. And this is probably one of the reasons why we've been having the challenges that we're having, because there's a tendency to focus on copying and pasting. WEF, of course, like I said, because of their experience in hosting such huge summits, economic summits in particular, are working with us. They're providing the support that we ask for in terms of their organizational skills, but it's by no way modeled after where we're just trying to emulate what they do, trying to copy what they do wholesale. With regards to SMEs, I believe if we look at the program, we'll see that there are a number of events specifically focusing on SMEs. So rest assured, they have a role to play. They are going to be fully engaged, and they are the main focus of the West Africa Economic Summit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. With that, we've come to the end of this very important briefing. Thank you, all of you, for coming. But for my friends, the journalists, please make sure your name is on the attendance list. Very, very important. Thank you.
If I could just interrupt you, I was informed that the lead for the Nigeria-Niger Joint Commission is in the room. Where is he? Is he here? Okay, he hasn't arrived yet. Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency.